Chapter 2. Let's check it out. Sometimes we meet simply because we're in the habit of meeting or because we think that we should meet. Having a meeting, after all, implies progress. At least we'd like to think this is the case. That belief is naive at best. Unless there is a genuine need to meet, meetings should not be held. Unnecessary meetings take a toll on individuals and the organization. People sitting in unnecessary meetings not only aren't getting other things done, they are being shown that their time is not valuable. In thinking about holding a meeting, our first question should always be, is this meeting necessary? Specifically, we need to ask, what is the goal for the meeting, and what outcome do we seek? Then we can decide if holding a meeting is the best strategy to accomplish the goals. Exercise 1. Each person's brain is unique because each person's life is also unique. The brain is not a computer, it's a living thing. It becomes suited to our purpose. Biologically speaking, its purpose is to ensure our survival. So the brain modifies its structure in response to the different tasks it is required to do. It establishes the neural connections needed to meet particular challenges. The more we use certain parts of our brain, the more developed and efficient those parts of the brain become. The well-trodden pathways are the ones that become strongest. In an actor, the parts of the brain responsible for language and speech may be larger than average. In a taxi driver, it's the area dealing with directions and spatial memory that is likely to be more highly developed. And so it goes on. Practice makes perfect, because practice changes the brain. Exercise 2. As true professionals, scientists should feel accountable to their clients, the public. In turn, the public as responsible citizens should pressure the scientists to keep them informed, as this acts as an important control against any unethical practice that might discredit the profession. By promoting good communication and transparency between both parties, the integrity and image of science as a profession of upright, trustworthy scholars will be promoted. Keeping the public well informed is not only a moral issue, it is also a selfish issue. If politicians, business people, and the media become more familiar with a scientist's work, they are more likely to receive good research funding for projects and improve their chances of things like promotion in their careers. Exercise 3. McKinsey reports that between 30% and 40% of the typical company's revenues are generated by customers who would be unprofitable if their true cost to serve were applied. It is therefore important to conduct regular reviews of the customer base to identify potential candidates for dismissal. If this is not done, sales, marketing, and service resources will continue to be suboptimally deployed. Nipro, a plastic injection molder, had 800 customers and sales of $50 million when it decided to move out of low-value-added manufacturing. Many of these customers served no useful strategic purpose. 10 years later, the company had only 65 customers, all of whom were large and required value-added solutions rather than cheap molded products. However, sales revenue had reached $450 million. Exercise 4. As far as differentiating for readiness is concerned, I have always heard that teachers should teach to the top of the class. However, word choice, pacing, and expectations must fairly challenge, but not over-challenge each student. Teachers should match instruction and assessment as closely as possible to students' readiness and abilities. Differentiating products after you have delivered the same instruction to the whole class may be the only way to differentiate for readiness in some cases. Teachers should be prepared to reteach concepts and skills to students who simply did not get it through the whole class instruction or the practice. They may be able to add scaffolding during a guided practice or individual practice segment of the class.